Well, President Obama is set to host a press conference today in the White House Rose Garden. We take you there now. Ahead of that speech, Juliana Goldman is at the White House with more. So, Juliana, what's behind today's press conference?
Well, one word, Deirdre, and that is time, and it's running out for the president to get through a number of the items on his agenda, from health care to climate change. Congress leaves at the end of this week for recess, 1 week for the House, 2 weeks for the Senate. Then Obama leaves to go abroad. He's going to Russia, Ghana, and Italy. And then a news conference really is the way for Obama to keep up that pressure on Congress in order to get this done, to get health care by the end of this year. One former Clinton administration official put it a little more bluntly this weekend.
The president may have, and the White House staff may have, overlearned the lesson of the Clinton health care plan fiasco, which was don't deliver a package to the Hill, let the Hill take ownership. Right now, the president has got to get involved, twist arms, and say, if I don't have A, B, and C, I'm not going to sign this bill.
And we saw some of that new tone just yesterday with the president saying, yes, we can get health care passed. Also today, expect the president to get out in front on the issue of Iran. He's come under a lot of criticism on that issue. Here's what his former opponent in the presidential campaign had to say.
I think we ought to have America lead. When you look at the statements by President Sarkozy, Chancellor Merkel, and Prime Minister Brown have been much stronger. We should lead. And I also think he should point out that this is not just an Iranian issue. This is an American issue, what we're all about.
Also, Deirdre, expect to hear from the president on climate change and deficits, as that's a mounting concerns for Americans that we've been hearing about in polls lately.
And, Juliana, I mean, this is the president's fourth formal press conference in nearly 6 months. Is there a danger of overexposure, if we can call it that? I mean, he is the president of the United States.
Well, obviously, that's something that the White House thinks about. But polls show that Obama's approval ratings are really high right now, around 60%. So he has the credibility to talk about these issues. The president has essentially nothing to lose, only to gain. And we can see that if we look at some of the poll numbers from past press conferences. Gallup has a tracking poll that they do every day. And if you look back in February at the president's first press conference, in the 3 days before that event, he was at 63% approval. 3 days after, 66%. After his February address to Congress, that went up 6 points from the 3 days before to the 3 days after that primetime event. In March, it was about the same. In April, he went up about 5 points before he was at 63%, after he was at 68%. So what these polls indicate, Deirdre, is that when the going gets tough for this White House, when their back is against the wall, Obama is the best weapon to deploy.
All right, Juliana, thanks very much. Juliana Goldman from the White House.